Arne Slot's had to put out all these fires and he won the Premier League last season, wouldn't you feel of anybody that he'd be given a little bit more time?
I agree to that. I think he should.
Okay.
Personally, I think he should.
Past the season or just till the end of the season?
I think it's very difficult when you've had 2 seasons. One season you win the league by 10 points, I think it was. The second season it's been a bit of a disaster, but you're still in the Champions League at this moment in time, and you're still in with a chance to finish in the top 4 of the Premier League. So it's not been a terrible season, but it's just not been to the standard.
You'd start the next season with him?
I would, because I think there's a lot to...
The next season?
I would, for this reason. I think when Salah goes, now I get to judge you. Because all I've seen in the 2 years that he's been there, he's had to manage that ego. He's had to manage contracts. He's had to manage everything. I want to see now when you give people the space. Think about it, Nigel, again, as a coach, and to you, God, I know I spoke a lot, but think about it now. You've got one of your best players, arguably one of Liverpool's best players of all time. You drop him, just put him on the bench against Frankfurt. Just put him on the bench. You haven't dropped him, Kane did. He started the week before, he started the week after. He deletes all his pictures and makes a big scene. Next time now he's not playing well, you have to think in the back of your mind, can I even put this guy on the bench? Because if I do, here's what happens. And by the way, this didn't just happen with him, it happened with Jurgen Klopp as well. So I'd like to see what is he going to do when he can actually have the reins to go, OK, here's how it's been. It's been an awful transfer window. I know they spent a lot of money, missed out on Mark Gahey, didn't get Isak till late. There's still been a lot that you'd want to see. He actually hasn't had a full season to work with his team. That's what I would say.
I would agree with Troy. I don't want to repeat everything he said, but he's right. He's had to deal with a lot that he shouldn't have had to. The transfer window hasn't been great. The players that they've signed, and the biggest impact player everyone wanted to see was Isak. They thought Isak was the missing piece for this season, and he's been injured because of his transfer situation to get to Liverpool Football Club. I would give him to the end of the season. But the problem you have right now with that fan base, if they're starting to sing Xavi Alonso's name
100%.
at Manchester City in the FA Cup game, it's going to be very difficult. And now he's got a second leg that they have to play against Paris Saint-Germain at Anfield. Bear in mind, Paris Saint-Germain get a week's break as well from Liga, helping them out. It's going to be tough. I think when Liverpool fans start singing for another manager's name, when they're genuinely loyal fans, it's very difficult for him. But he's had to deal with a lot that he shouldn't have had to. The injuries have made it difficult. But I must say there are moments where he has to take responsibility as well for some of the things he said in the press.
From a management above Slot's level, you can't miss some players. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how big a club you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Isak, not healthy, hasn't been nearly the impact of what they paid for. Fine. We could make the excuses, but miss. They lose Trent, right? So not great. They bring in Frimpong. He's not of the level of a Liverpool player at the moment, week in and week out, consistently enough. Wirtz, 6 goals and 7 assists through all the appearances he's had in all competitions at Liverpool. It can't happen. So from just a purely transfer market perspective, they've got worse players, right? Yeah. For sure. Now, Arne Slot, I disagree with them here. I think that they've got progressively worse since he's taken over, to be honest with you. I think that what was Klopp known for? The most dynamic team in offensive transition, rock and roll football, right? They've played less of that under Slot as the team has progressed. They were overrated big time last season. We saw a lot of faults in the team. We saw a lot of weaknesses that we said, wait, that doesn't make sense. The results not matching up. Take nothing away from Arne Slot, but for me, Klopp put everything in place to win that second Premier League, and the more that Slot puts his touch on it, his feel on it, the team gets less dynamic. There's moments of weak leadership, like you bring in and about Curtis and about some of the guys speaking. Every player's gotten worse under Arne Slot. Salah's gotten worse. Virgil Van Dijk's gotten worse. The dynamism has gone down. So for me, as a manager, it also has to take responsibility.
I take your point. So who could you bring in now that you say plays Jurgen Klopp's style of football?
It's difficult who you bring in, but for me, I know for sure Arne Slot's not the answer.
Yeah, but what they did then at that point is they knew they had to pivot from that. So they went for a more controlled base because they had a lot of injuries under Jurgen Klopp, and again, the fitness regime was so difficult that a lot of players, obviously I played against those teams, so they pivot to a different route. Fair enough if you say not there. But as you know, teams are based on your best players performing and your weakest players being fit and available.
Definitely.
It's the top and the bottom of it, and everybody else fits in the middle. At this moment in time, their top player, in Mo Salah and Van Dijk, in terms of historically, not performing. and then everybody else is falling short of the standards anyway. So who do you turn around now, other than Sabazza and Kvicha, and say, you two? If you could go through a whole season, 25, 28 players, and say 2 have played well.
Yeah.
Bro, I agree with you, but then my issue is it doesn't seem like just an individual thing. If Salah's not playing well, if Virgil Van Dijk's not playing well, if some of the players are very average in the team, Frimpong's very average, Wirtz is very average in the team, then also at some point you have to also look, okay, what do the training sessions look like? Because when Curtis Jones came out, he basically said we're too soft.
Yes.
Basically said we're too soft.
Well, and then Virgil van Dijk did say, didn't he, after Manchester City, we gave up at the Etihad. Here's just a quick poll on who you guys think maybe should take over as Liverpool manager. Arne Slot will be there next season. 11% of you think Xabi Alonso, 63%. Stevie G is in there, 17%. And another option for 9% of you. Speaking of Virgil van Dijk, let's just hear from him after the match. Here he is with Anita Jones.
Do you feel there's been a sense of fragmentation then?
No, I don't even know what that means, by the way. But
just that maybe not been together as much.
No, the thing is that, you know, our season has been so inconsistent, and it's down to multiple factors, and the noise, you know, is there because we are Liverpool. We are the champions we're the Premier League champions, so the noise is absolutely justified. So, you know, as me, for me personally, it's not been an easy season to, you know, to handle everything that comes our way. Like, I'm not speaking about me because I've never been selfish in that sense. You know, it's always about us, me, and the club always will go number one.
Very quickly, you spoke about that leadership role and you speaking to players. Is that on an individual level that you're speaking to them after games?
Both, individual, as a team. Before games, but that's absolutely normal. And for me, you know, obviously
conversations. No,
well, last year also, but this year, yeah, maybe a little bit more. But because you're dealing with a lot of players that are dealing with situations and in their own way.
Yeah.
And not everyone is thinking the same. So it's about being there for each other. How hard it is. Dealing with all the noise and stuff that comes our way, what is justified, and then show it on the pitch that we deserve to play for Liverpool, because it's an absolute privilege, and that's why you have to feel. You represent not only, you know, this badge in Liverpool, but you represent so many fans all over the world that will do everything for us and be there for us as well.
Troy, you were just saying, aside from kind of everything that came out with what Virgil said in the last meeting, you've got a lot of respect for him, that he's always the first out, win, lose, draw, no matter what.
Always fronts it up. Never shirks. Again, in those moments, you've just lost, you're coming on the back of 3 defeats, manager's under pressure, he's under pressure. It'd be so easy to go, oh, I'm not doing the media today, let somebody else do it. No problem. He goes out and does it every single time. That's why, to me, he's a good captain in that regard. He leads with the way he does it, in his own style. I do think, as I said yesterday, the group as a whole needs more leaders in there, more people that are willing to, like, grab somebody and try and say, hey, you just spoke about Curtis Jones saying we were a bit weak and we missed out on tackles. That's not something you'd say outward. That's something you go, I'm going to fix that. Every single one of us knows how to make a tackle. We smash into somebody, we say, hey, this is what we're about. Coming out and talking about it, to me, that's not leadership. That's a way of going.
Sign of weakness.
That's a kind of going, oh, I don't really know how to fix this, so I'm just going to tell you what I think. I love that Virgil's out there speaking about it. I think he's absolutely right in his messaging. It's a privilege to play for Liverpool. It's a massive club. There's pressure that comes with it. The one thing I would ask now, if I had the chance to speak to Virgil, would be saying, okay, how do you raise your level? And I think his personal level, because he's been so good for so long that now he's 5-10% off that. It looks so bad. It looks like he's always been in a position where he's kind of chasing. You saw the one against Man City in the week. Is
it difficult, by the way, to be a captain in those moments? Because you two have been captains when you're not playing your best, but you're trying to tell other people to raise their standard.
Because you're too worried about everything else. I've been there before in my playing days when a manager could tell you, stop telling everyone else what to do and how to do their job when you're not doing your job.
That's what the manager said to you?
Yeah, because you have to do your job. Sometimes you get so preoccupied with being a good leader and a big captain that you're directing everyone else, but you're forgetting about yourself. you're no use to anyone else if you're not good. And that's just a simple thing in life that you have to say. So you have to worry about yourself first. Once your foundation is good and you're doing your job, then I can start digging everyone else out. I think with Van Dijk right now, we've lived off last year, Liverpool being champions and stuff, he's so worried for this season again that he's so caught up in doing everything else that he needs to concentrate on himself first and then build the rest of the team up. It's easily done when you're such a good leader. And I think he deserves a lot of credit, like Troy said, for being able to front up and be out there and take it. And he takes the good with the bad. That is what you want from a real captain and a leader. Yeah, he made some mistake, probably the Man City comment about giving up. Not a great thing to say publicly. Could hammer your teammates behind closed doors. You don't put that out there and just say, we were poor today. End of story. We weren't good enough as a team collectively.
And does he buy into the noise as well? Because earlier on in the season, talk about him having a bad season, they were talking about, is he generational? Is he as good as John Terry? Is he as good as Vincent Kompany, Rio Ferdinand? They were putting him in those brackets. So has he maybe taken that a little bit, rested on his laurels a little bit and gone, oh, I'm not the problem, they are. And now you have to go through that cycle of actually, I need to raise mine again. So I think these last couple of weeks will humble him, make him hit rock bottom and go, OK, we need to go again.
Do you think he is, by the way, generational?
I think so. It was one of the best I played against.
I would say he is. And again, just quickly before we get off, I know you've got to think about him being a captain there. You've got a new left back coming in. You've got a new right back coming in. Playing in the back four, if these people are not in tune, a goalkeeper, they're not in tune to your team and what you've been built for a long time, it's very difficult. People think it's easy. It's not. To build those relationships, to understand how that player is going to be, it's not that easy done, especially when you play in the back line. You make a mistake, more than likely it's going to be a goal, unless you have a world-class goalkeeper. So there's a lot that comes with it, and I give him credit for being that captain to step up and take the good with the bad and take it all on board.